welcome back. This is Michelle from Michelle's Empty Nest, and today I thought I would bring you along as I put together a 12 by 12 layout documenting a Valentine's photo using a digital collection from Syncopation Design, and I will be sure to link her Instagram as well as her Etsy shop down below in the description box, along with any other specific products I use today. And there's always a fairly lengthy list of regular products that I use, including all the different papers and adhesives, my printer, just random everyday things that I really like to use on a regular basis. So those things are always linked below as well. So let me first tell you about the collection. Jennifer has designed two collections that are the same, except for the language. So one is called Love, that's in English, and one is called Amor, which is in Spanish. So I think that is a wonderful thing that she did for those of you who are Spanish speaking as your first language, or even if you just want to do something a little different. To be able to have that as an option, I think, is a good thing. So I today am using the Love collection in English, but the designs, everything's the same. It's just the wording that's different between the two. So let me go ahead and show you the papers first. They are gorgeous. And as a reminder, I print my digital things on my mind has just left me, Canon matte photo paper, and it gives just a wonderful, brilliant output every time. I'm always amazed at the color and the saturation. There's no streaking or no lines. It's just, my regular home printer. It wasn't an expensive one. It's several years old, and it just does wonderful work on this matte photo paper. So this first one, excuse me, is a lock and key design, and so that one is really cute. And then one with the little conversation hearts. And these papers are cut down because I had already started making some decisions before I decided to turn the camera on. Love this one as well, just with the different little kind of doodle hearts and the pink and a darker pink. She really did a great job with these colors. And then some hot lips here. And I think I did size this one down. The lips were originally bigger, but for the size that I was using, that's one of the beautiful things about a digital collection. You can work in Photoshop or probably even do this thing in Canva as well, and just kind of size down and get the size of print that you need for your project. And then this is my absolute favorite paper of the collection. It's little, like a little text message speech bubble, let's call them speech bubbles, not text messages. Speech bubbles with little hearts in there and some doodle hearts, and I just love this color of pink. It is gorgeous. So I printed these out just on 8.5 by 11 paper, as I said, and then I've already trimmed them down for my needs for today. Then, and here they are. So they're in little 3 by 3 inch squares. I'm going to do a grid design today. So I'm using those. And then to help fill in my grid, there's also a set of cards. They come in 3 by 4, 4 by 4, and 6 by 4. So I chose 3 of them to help fill out my grid, and did a little resizing and then just trimmed them out to a 3 by 3 size. And then also in the collection, there is a page of adorable die cuts, ephemera. You can use them with the PNGs and print them out on your, or cut them out on your Silhouette or your Cricut, or you can fussy cut them either way. You can pull them in digitally in Photoshop and add them right onto something. So lots of variety available with the digital collection. And then my photo, I'm going to have to look back. I'll look before I do the voiceover. It's on Valentine's Day. It was either 2015 or 2018. It's awful that I can't look and tell, but it's one of the two. And we were out at a place called the French Market, and we had a wonderful Valentine's Day meal. And I chose it because we actually had a little red on that kind of tied in with some of the reds in the collection. Then the other thing that I have already pulled are 3 pieces of basil cardstock. And so the white is just Avalanche, is the particular color that this one is. You know, there's a few different shades of white and textures. So this texture and color combination is called Avalanche. The red one is called Red Devil. I'm not sure if these are focusing. I can't see all the way up into my camera screen right at the moment. I've got a little high. And then the pink one is Chablis. So I thought these colors matched fairly well with the collection. And you can see that I have cut them to different sizes. So I've left this one 12 by 12. This one is 11 by 11. And then a 10 by 10. And then I've got my 9 by 9 grid that's going to go inside of this. And so I've really been digging the quiltish looking patterns lately. So I'm going to do some stitching and kind of make this one be a little quilt-like as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get you put on fast forward and we'll get this one put together. So let's do it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start by getting my grid laid out. And as I mentioned, I had played around a little bit before deciding to turn the camera on, so I already knew where these were going to go. That's how I was able just to lay those out so quickly. So I do kind of fuss around with them a bit to try to get them as centered and straight as I can. Everything doesn't end up looking 100% straight to me on this layout once it's over with, but you know, I didn't pull out any kind of T-square rule or anything. I just went with it. And honestly, in my mind, kind of the mood and feel that I'm going for is that like the old homemade quilt that grandma would have made. And, you know, they're not 100% perfect, and that's perfectly fine with me. So I'm going to show you the stitching that I did kind of in stages here. And I'm twisting that, turning that piece of white cardstock because all of these 3 have more of that grass cloth type texture instead of the cross hatch pattern that some of the cardstock from Basil does. And so I'm alternating the direction of those lines. You can probably see in the close-ups a little bit more clearly what I'm talking about. But so I've got everything stitched down, and you see I alternated between zigzag and just a regular stitch. Since I had so much, I wanted to kind of vary that up to give it a little more interest. And I knew I wanted to pop my photo up on foam tape. So I just used a couple pieces of the 1-inch foam tape that I get from scrapbook.com. And I had narrowed it down to these 4 pieces of ephemera pretty much before I turned the camera on. And so I end up choosing the date night over the my love because this was a date night, day/night. So I wanted to definitely put that one on there. So now I'm going to get everything adhered down. And you've seen me before when I use foam adhesive, I typically am going to also use liquid adhesive just to give me a little bit of wiggle room in case I need it. And so that's what I did. And then I'll pull out these scrapbook adhesives, foam squares and circles, and a couple of different sizes there. And I think it's important, especially when you're using digital. Well, I think it's always important to provide a little depth and dimension. And so I specifically love that on my layouts, but especially with digital collections, since everything is more one-dimensional and flat, if you can do a little bit of distressing or stitching or popping things up on foam dots, you'll definitely get more of a, I guess, traditional collection feel is the best way to describe it. So I really enjoy doing that. And so I'm going to put this label on there. I did look up the date. It was in 2015. It's a heavily filtered photo because I was way into that with every single Instagram photo I used to post way back then. So once I get that and put today's date on it, that is going to finish me up. So I'll be back to talk to you here in just a second. Okay, friends, that is where I am calling this one good. I like how it came together. I love these colors together, the pinks and the reds with the little pops of color here and there. And I like my picture kind of being off kilter a little bit to make it more of a focal point. And definitely loving the dimension and the stitching for sure. You all know that I love my style of messy stitching. So I'm very pleased with how it came out. I love it when a layout is nice and thick and heavy, and this one definitely is. I didn't gut any of the paper. I just let it be nice and thick. So I haven't decided if I'm going to do any journaling or not. If I do, I may create a little pocket on the back and just tuck a tag in there. The date's there, you know it's Valentine's Day. We're out and about, obviously dressed up with a tie on. And the only thing that really would be to say was just where we went to eat, the name of the restaurant, the town, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I may add that and just talk a little bit about, you know, the restaurant, or I may just leave it here for forever. I'm not sure yet, but definitely calling it good for today. I did go back, I'm sure I probably mentioned this in the voiceover, but it was definitely in 2015. I had to go back and scroll through my personal Instagram to find that one. And I do like including the date of the picture if there's quite a discrepancy between the picture and when I am documenting it. And so this little label worked out perfectly just to handwrite that to denote that that picture was not taken on, you know, February the 8th of 2022. We have definitely aged some since then, especially without the use of a filter. So anyway, I appreciate you stopping by so very much today. It means more to me than you will ever know. If you enjoyed the video, I would love a thumbs up down below, and please consider hitting that subscribe button if you have not already. I would love to have you as a little member of my YouTube family over here. There'll be close-ups at the end as well as over on Instagram. And you can follow me there as well. It's michelles.empty.nest. And make sure you check out this beautiful collection from Jennifer at Syncopation Design. Again, that will be linked below as well. And until I see you in the next video, take care of yourself, do something good for yourself, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.